Howdy folks, welcome back to Fifth Nautical Mile Arc. Today is the day people have been waiting for. My friend is back who just happens to be a 738 pilot in real life. And today he's going to fly the ZIBO. I downloaded the mod and got everything installed and set some presets and checked a few things out. And if you haven't watched the video a couple back where the same pilot flew the default 738, I really recommend you watch that video because there's a lot of additional side conversation about being a pilot and flying planes that probably won't get repeated in this video. So even though I know everybody's here for the ZIBO mod with the real life pilot, you're really missing out if you don't watch that first video as well. So I invite you to do that. So I'm going to turn it over to the pilot. I'll let him provide as much personal information and career information as he's comfortable with. And we are going to fly from Anchorage to Juneau today, and he has his charts on his actual work tablet and all this stuff ready to go. So there'll be banter back and forth. The style of this will be kind of like that other video with the 727, kind of like a live stream style. So if you're new to the channel, this is a very different video format. If you're a regular of the channel, this is a very different video format. So here we go. We'll take it away. So welcome back, and thank you again for taking your time out after 10 p.m. on a Friday night, for all of those who wonder.
No, excited to be here again.
Yeah, we're going to fly the ZIBO mod that everybody talks about.
Can't wait. It looks like there's a ton more additional functionality, a lot of switches that
might
are
work.
Turned on, and a lot more in the FMC especially.
And you did some of your own research on YouTube, I think. You watched some videos on this plane.
I did. I'm sure nothing at the level you might know about it, but it definitely seems very accurate in especially in the FMC.
Okay.
A lot of the same pages and everything. And I guess we'll find out together.
Right. And just a little secret, since I'm not a modern jet sim pilot, you probably know way more about the model in the sim than I do. The only two jets I fly are the 727, which is from the 60s, and the Eclipse 550, which is a little modern tiny business jet. So 738 is something I personally wouldn't fly, so I don't even know much about the ZIBO mod other than everybody loves it and it's payware quality for free. You just have to install a few files, which if you can turn your computer on, you can do it. I'm sure most of you watching already fly yourself, but here we go, real life pilot. So I'm going to hop you inside. I'm going to control like the sim stuff.
Awesome.
And I'm going to let you do what you want to do and much time as it takes.
Sweet.
That's what we're going to do.
Well, let's get some ground power turned on here. I don't see it's available.
Oh, I wonder.
Wonder if we can go over
let me
to
go
our
over here and then
service.
that might.
Okay, that must mean that they're started. Let's see. Oh, you know what? This is.
Oh, that's like dining
and cleaners, and we don't.
Because I know if you hit start leg, you hear everybody boarding and all the background sounds. Which so there's GPU. Okay, there we go.
So it's connected.
All right, so let me bring you back over here.
Thank you. Awesome. There we go. Make sure all these switches are in the right.
This is where simulation is more challenging than real life, because when you do the professional simulator, you're in a cockpit, right? You're not clicking with the mouse and
exactly. I can reach up with muscle memory and whack most of these switches to where they need to be.
The other day when I was setting this up for the align, I put quick align instead of real time align, just so we can save some time.
We'll definitely do that. I'm getting ahead of myself here.
And just so you know, he does not have his real life checklist with him. He's doing all this from memory. So if he does miss a few things, it's because it's all from memory. So it's impressive that you can do this from memory. I know you do it every day, but still, several times a day in some cases.
We do like to follow the checklist.
Yes,
so we're required to follow the checklist.
Yes, of course.
All right. Bring these both onto nav, and you see on DC illuminates momentarily, and then line lights. Okay. And whenever you start from the off position, it's going to do a full align. Okay. It shouldn't take too long here, though. Sure. It should be pretty quick. Okay, that's a difference. The ZIBO has these switches individual. In the default, they were all automatically connected.
Sure. So you really have to know what you're doing in the ZIBO, you're saying?
Yeah.
More than the
default. A lot more. And I'm already noticing all these switches work. So a lot more attention to detail in this mod. I highly recommend this one over the already.
Because you were impressed with the default even.
I was.
And
I was.
You're already more impressed with this.
This is a lot more. Yep, these pack switches all work. Just leave that for now. I'm curious about the pressurization. Just gonna set something there. Going east, so let's say I'll go up to 25,000. Let's see what. Juneau's all the way up there at, oh, basically sea level.
Okay.
We always have our logo lights on. That's just free advertisement.
You mentioned in the default video that when you get on the plane, it's not completely cold and dark.
Correct. It's normally left on either by the previous crew or the maintenance people actually will come and they'll work on it in the night and they'll get it kind of preset for us in the morning. I'm referencing these charts here to set all these things up. I think we're gonna plan on a runway 33 departure. Very sensitive.
A little truck driving by. And just for people who are into immersion stuff, we're not doing the, I don't want to call it fluff, but we're not going to do the announcements. We're not going to do the sound, because you can have the sound of people boarding and kids screaming and getting the meals ready, and those sounds are in here, but we're not gonna worry about that stuff. If that's something that interests you, be aware it exists, but you have to reference another YouTube channel for those details.
All right.
Do you want me to bring that into the FMS for you?
I'm just gonna do a quick scan down here. I'm not gonna do all the fire tests. And all
right.
that. Yeah, let's just go and look at the FMS.
Right, I think that was this one. Yeah.
All right.
So you would do like all those fire tests and things. And,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Test the fire. Test the radar. The JIPWIZ, which is the ground proximity.
Okay.
And that's not normally what we see, but we'll just roll with it. All right, I'm gonna pop back up the overpan.
Do you want to do that? Whoa, it was one. That one?
All right, good. We just made sure those are back on the line. All right,
Come back
let me
down.
go back down. Yep.
That one, I
Sweet.
think.
Good. So now we have our position there, and I just came up with a quick little route.
Yeah.
Yay. Let's see.
Panic. So when you are talking to your wife, do you speak in the phonetic alphabet?
No,
Out of habit?
she would not appreciate it.
I'm so used to that type of thing. Whenever I'm giving like addresses or things, I use phonetic alphabet, and people they'll look at me weird. I'm like, but you understood what I said, though. You weren't asking, was it M or N? So,
Yeah, it's like when you give someone a credit card number, they're like not questioning you, I guess.
right. Although it does bug me when people say O for 0. That one bugs me, but
Yeah.
that's a personal thing. We also have my almost 11-year-old joining us because he's wired from watching a basketball game, and maybe this will inspire him to be a pilot. No, okay. He's shaking his head. No, I think he wants to. Well, he's 10 and a half, so of course he wants to be a YouTube gamer as a career. But we're pushing him in. Oh, okay. He says no. Good. That changed from last year. Professional clarinetist? No, he says no. Okay. I don't know. Getting a 10-year-old to decide what they want, they shouldn't have to worry about that anyway.
I'm just throwing some basic, off the top of my head, fuel numbers in here for a zero fuel weight.
Oh yeah, because
Pretty
this
typical.
wasn't in the default.
Correct. Yeah, none of this was in there on the default. So this would all normally just pre-populate for us,
Okay.
just like that. But we also have to know. I just had to manually load it the other day.
Mm-hmm. Oh, in real life.
In real life, just because the upload system was not available.
Upload from.
It uploads through ACARS, yeah.
Okay.
From the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
because the company computer has passenger numbers and baggage weight numbers and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's how it gets uploaded.
Exactly. Yeah, it knows everything. Okay, this is interesting.
I'm being told that the 10-year-old wants to be a basketball star. That's what he's going to do. So you better start going to more basketball camps. Tough competition these days. You have to be a star by the time you're 10 or be tough.
So the approach that looked like it came through the mountains doesn't look like it's available in the box.
Ah, okay.
The RNAV to 2.8 is not available here in the box. So what we can do, we can fly the RNAV to 8, and then potentially do a missed approach from that.
Sure. Yeah, it'd be nice to see a proper missed approach go around procedure. Because that's a whole nother ball game there. And I don't know if it's on the box because my nav data isn't current, but that's not a brand new approach.
Yeah, so it might be something to do with I'm not sure. It might be a company thing where certain.
Oh, where that's
where
your
my employer has paid for that. Yeah,
gotcha.
To be in the box.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right, so we've got a basic route here with our departure, all that.
And world weather is turned off, by the way, because there's severe storms right now and clouds going almost to the ground. So we're in clear skies so we can see the mountains, and since our real-life pilot here isn't a simulator experience or home simulator experience, it'd be kind of unfair to throw severe weather storms at you. Here, land this. Although I assume you train for all that in the professional simulator.
We do, but this is a very different feel. I'm just kind of pre-briefing some of this so I don't spend so much time heads down here. So the Zulu.
Now, have you flown this approach in real life before?
I have not. No,
okay.
This is a highly special airport.
Okay.
And it's kind of outside of the geographical area that we go to. But Seattle crews would definitely get up here probably in the summertime.
Because for the default 738, we flew an area you were familiar with.
Yeah.
Which gave you a chance to do some sightseeing and things. So
and that was a lot of fun. There we can see our alignment is almost complete. The AMP is actual navigational performance versus the required for our phase of flight is coming down. So it's kind of finding itself.
Okay.
All right. Everything's looking good on here. I think we are really about ready to go flying. Let's do some takeoff data here. Normally as well this would actually I'm curious what this ACARS. Oh, you can pull an ATIS. I'm just messing around.
Sure, of course. Yeah, do whatever you want to do. If I have to split this up into 2 episodes, I will, but take as much time as you want.
This is exactly what it does. It says VHF in progress, and then we'll get a prompt that says message right here.
Maybe.
I'll go back to what I was doing. So we'll set some basic takeoff data.
Is flaps 5 normal?
Okay. Yeah. And again, normally this all like uploads for us. Sure. So I'm just kind of gonna make up some numbers. And if it didn't pop up, we have a card that we could look at. So So don't go fly a 738 with these numbers, because it probably wouldn't work out so well. I'm just curious if that...
Then I think you told me before that generally you're the one who's doing this?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, the captain will read me the will read me this data, and then I'll just enter it in the box, and then we confirm it.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. This is slightly different, so I just want to make sure we're, because it should pop up right here and say ref.
I suppose since this is slightly different than what you're used to, it's almost more difficult because you're expecting things in certain places and
correct.
It's not there, so now you got to go hunting for it.
Yep, and I'm trying to find out where.
But 17 minutes later.
I know.
I mean, I run into this with my real-life day job as I know all these proprietary systems, and then there'll be a firmware change, and I'm totally lost because they moved a screen or something, and I'm trying to do something blindly over the phone to help a technician, and I'm like, it was there yesterday, and now I did the firmware update, and it changed after we learned it, so...
we have the cheese.
Yeah, exactly.
We need to wait till the engines are started, and then we'll come back and try again.
Alrighty.
I'll just get the AP started. Yeah. Zoom me out to the... Yeah.
And then
it's a little less craning your neck than the 7.2 for the AP.
Right, craning all the way around.
Sorry, you were gonna say something.
Is the EGT under the... That's what we're looking for.
Yep. Exactly. And that's about accurate on the time.
Okay.
It kind of hovers there around 0, and then it spikes up. Then you'll see it come down, and once it kind of settles down around here, this light will come on.
Okay. That means that's what's available, right?
Exactly.
Okay. See, I remembered something from the previous video.
That's literally just a chime because it used to be the no smoking sign.
Oh,
it's
right.
just a chime.
That's funny. Alright, so I see now it's available. Okay.
Sweet. So, boom, boom. And this will just trip off when they disconnect it. We can actually have them do it. Done. So there we go.
Excellent.
Light went off. Give some air to the folks. 2 packs on. Cross feed valves open.
Do you want to look at it? Whoop.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, what's my...
I think I messed you up there. I like to set these on A, T, and T. Oops. A, T, and T is kind of a good place.
Okay.
That's a lot of my job. I think I mentioned that in the previous video.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're done with that. I think we are ready for a pushback.
All right.
Make sure the doors are closed up.
So if you go over here.
Oh, yeah.
Hit home. And then if you move to the right, it'll turn into an arrow. There you go.
Aha.
And then there's doors. Then you only have that one. Click closed.
Closed.
Yeah, so then open. Oh, yeah, those are open. Oh, because you hit the ground services button.
I did.
Yeah. And then hit home.
Gotcha.
Actually, go back a second.
Sure.
Arrow over. Click on doors. There's a second page there.
Oh, yeah.
Let's make sure. Okay, never mind.
Good.
So let's click on home. Then I think there's a better... Was it in ground service? Somewhere there's a better pushback. Oh, go to the second page. There we go. Nope, where was I? I just saw it a second ago.
I think it's under here.
There it is.
Oh,
Better
yeah.
pushback. Yeah, click on that. And then pre-plan.
Pre-plan.
There we go.
Ooh. I remember I'm no good at this.
This is a whole nother thing you gotta learn. Like,
Let's just say we want to go right there.
Alright, so then hit enter to accept.
Okay.
And then request pushback.
Alright.
I think it did something. Alright.
Lovely.
There it is. We'll watch the animations here.
Busy morning in Anchorage.
Yeah, sun. Yep, there's the sun coming right over the
Look
mountains.
at that.
a simulated sun anyway. And he's going to drive that a GPU. He's going to go right through the GPU.
Crunch.
The GPU probably weighs as much as the toe.
Those things are big and noisy.
We'll watch the animation since we can.
And we got pilots in the flight deck on this one.
Oh yeah, yep.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Oh, never mind. Let's just disconnect.
Oh, she's just talking, I
She's
think.
just telling us. Well, too many controls. Someone put a lot of work into the animations. We might as well watch them. So if you're trained in the 738, would you fly like any other variation, like a 739 or whatever is even out there now?
Yeah, I can. It really depends on the company you work for. I can fly the. I could really fly every 737,
Okay.
but there's gonna be no airline that would ever allow me to fly a different variant without with their own training.
Right. Okay. All right. So ready for engine.
All right.
So you want this one?
Yeah, let's do it. We'll turn these guys off.
That
With the cross feed open.
The company that makes that 727 I showed you, FlyJSim, they make a 732, like the original 732.
We pop to the like the center view, or even just my view. Yeah,
There we go.
that's great.
Oh, that's the seat
Actually-
in the way. Actually, I have a preset for that.
This is good. I'll just
Okay.
tip it up a little bit.
There we go.
This is just like the 7.2, except for this is a much more
The
normal.
engines are working.
Yeah, this is.
I think
this
we
is an
spent
improvement.
20 minutes trying to start an engine in the first video.
They were very unstable in that one for some reason. I think they're designed to be quick started.
Yeah. The default planes are.
An engine. I had an engine fail indication. That's very.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That shouldn't matter.
No way. No way. That's it.
All right, so there was a big edit cut thing because we were trying to figure out why the plane wouldn't start. I just cut all that out, and was that on my yoke in this aircraft, my fuel control is binded to something. So when he would introduce fuel, because my yoke fuel was down, it would pull it back down, which has never affected a plane like this before. So
I'm starting to
Alright.
feel a little out of control of my airplane.
so just to catch people up to speed, the only really difference we did after we figured out the binding is you have both fuel in now. So
Correct.
you had gone up here and you went both to auto or ground, then you brought in fuel and then it switched to auto on its own. That's the part that was edited out. We're going back and forth. Turned to be something that I've never needed to consider flying a jet. So now we're up to speed.
Awesome.
All right, so where are we?
Well, shall we taxi?
Yeah, let's taxi. So
All
what
right.
view do you want? Do you want that view? Or do you
Sure.
want the outside?
I'm gonna
Yeah, let's
do
this one.
some flaps. All right. I'm still not sure about the ref speeds, but we can make do, I suppose. Should be showing up on here, but maybe they'll pop up once we get moving. Normally they display right below here. So, well, shall we taxi?
All right, let's do it.
All right. So we're gonna go down. I'm just looking at my real life taxi chart. Mike Romeo to Golf, and that should bring us to
All right.
the runway. All right.
So parking brake
Rudder
is the
pedals.
inner one there. Rudder pedals.
All
and
right.
Don't bump that red one, or your engines are going to turn off.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, it was. Of course, in my GA aircraft, I need to use the fuel, but I've never needed it in a jet. So that was not something I expected. But
Yeah, that's definitely a change from the 7.2 and the
yeah,
default 7.38.
yep, we didn't need that. Yep. So precise and accurate. When I do this, I try to avoid just
That's
cutting
to
across.
the floor. That's interesting. That's rudder pedal to the floor, and it's not. It should be.
It should like spin
Yeah, it should take the. Well, forgive my taxiing here. Because that is rudder pedal hard over, and it's not.
Huh.
It should pivot on a dime.
Right.
Well, that's bizarre. I wonder if nose wheel.
There's one thing we can do.
Sure.
I don't know if this will make a difference, but if we go here, oh nope, not that one. If we go.
Glad you know all these super cool controls.
We go to joystick, and we go to oh god, no, not that one either. It is. It's yeah, so I can go like. Well, let's not go all the way down. Let's go to that. I'll try it. See if it makes any difference. Same thing, huh?
A little bit.
A little
That's
bit.
weird. Well, hopefully we can make these turns out to the runway without running anything over. Very interesting. Well, forgive my taxiing through.
Yeah, that's weird.
Through the island, but. Alright, this is Romeo. Here to the left, it does appear.
Might have to start your turn now.
Yeah, it's just kind of a sluggish.
Huh.
I wonder how, the nose wheel doesn't seem like it's turned very, yeah. The nose wheel should turn up to almost, 90 degrees. It's going to be interesting lining up.
I wonder if nose wheel or tiller is a different binding in the sim.
Very
and
well
that's the problem.
I wonder if I need to be in the flight deck and use the tiller. Want to try that?
No.
No.
Huh. So yeah, I wonder if. So right now you're using rudder, but I wonder if there's a different binding for this for tiller.
Yeah.
And I don't have a bound to anything, so
which would make sense because full rudder pedal would do this.
Right. Exactly.
This is exactly right. So that's very accurate, actually. Probably.
That's probably what's going on. Yeah. Well, you just have to pretend.
Good to know. And they don't tell us what the exact limits are, but the rudder is effective only to a certain distance. That's really just to keep you on the runway at high speeds.
Yeah.
If you did go to the stop, that you could.
I want to go back up and fix. I want to put my setting back, or else
Oh, gotcha.
I'll forget, and then I will. Reason for that is because you used to get full rudder just by going like this, and just like you relax your foot and
You're right off. Yeah.
right off. So that's why I did that, so that it uses the full travel of the device.
Well, we learned something else. This plane is too advanced for.
It's too advanced. Too advanced for me.
It's too advanced for me.
So apparently, I'm looking at the X-Plane forums. And apparently what we're experiencing is normal, and there's some settings you can change for tiller option and the FMC extras, joystick options, and but we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to hope for
Good to know.
just hope that we can get there. So those of you who do know, go ahead, feel free to leave a comment. But I personally won't be flying this plane again. And I don't really know if you would have a desire to have the phone you get to play with the real life aircraft. But so what we're experiencing is, again, a simulator operator issue,
fun.
not our pilot's issue.
It makes me feel better.
So far, everything that's gone wrong has been simulator operator. So it's all been my fault.
No, just
Well, the fuel thing, because that's the simulator thing, and then FMC isn't exactly what you're used to. Obviously, that's a simulator thing. And now this rudder tiller thing is a simulator thing, so that's the problem. Is the reason why I didn't look at that ahead of time, because I didn't know we'd have to know this about the tiller. So I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, no, me neither. Well, I'll get us squared up here, and then we can go back inside for the takeoff.
Yeah, just let me know when you want to jump inside.
Let's jump back inside. Sweet. I'm gonna just throw some lights on. And we'll say we're clear for takeoff.
Be seated for departure.
Listen to that.
What? It like new.
That's kind of our, that wing light is kind of our,
sign.
yeah.
Let's go down here a second. Start flight. Like, I don't know why. I don't know how it knew. Okay, whatever.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I think it's me flipping this switch.
Okay, could have been. Yeah.
Getting bar the lights.
Hey, that worked.
That's awesome. We'll bring these both to flight. Whoops. And yeah, we don't need to worry about the transponder. Flaps are set. And we'll say our checklists are all complete. You ready?
Yeah, that was a lot. Once we got the fuel
Once we got the fuel.
the fuel binding figured out, that was way smoother than the default.
I agree.
It made it look easy.
Oh,
Like,
let's see about auto throttles.
I'll see if they work this time.
They do.
Nice.
They say arm right there, so they should just engage once I bring this up. So I normally let the engine stabilize right around 40, and then I normally hit the toggle button, which I'm gonna reach down
Without.
and hit it right there.
Oh, it worked.
There we go. So we have
Oh, yeah,
N1,
toga.
heading, and toga.
So this is a lot more at home
Yeehaw!
than
Oh,
the
look,
other
the
one.
speeds are exactly what I put in.
Nice.
Oh yeah, very realistic. Gear up. I'm expecting the other guy to do it.
Oh, right.
It's a little bit pitchy.
And then when you bring flaps in.
We wait for flaps 5. We can bring them in there, and then we're looking for these little bugs. There's a flap bug right there.
Okay.
VNAV speed. VNAV speed comes up. This is exactly what we do. Then the little flap 1 bug comes. We bring the rest of the flaps up. And actually, the button here is we would never really go to flaps 2. We just go from flaps 5 right to 1.
Sure.
The autopilot.
I assume this is really your view looking up into the sky.
Yeah. The deck angle is such that you gotta kind of. Let's see here. Yeah, kind of look out the side window. I'm not sure why. I keep getting onto your other monitor. There we go. Yeah, look out the window to enjoy the view. All right.
You can use this to look around too. The hat switch.
Oh, that's right. That's nice and easy. Just do a quick after takeoff checklist here. We'll bring these guys.
Now you can see the other seat modeled.
All right, so now we're just climbing out on this RNAV departure. It's pretty simple. They want us to do 230 knots. It's all programmed right in the box. Sorry, I've got the sniffles here.
That's okay. Also, too, yes. Another reminder in case people are skipping around the video. We're not having a whole lot of narration this time because it's not needed. So if you watch the first video, the default, everything he clicks on is narrated and discussed and explained. But in this video, since that's already been done, this is more like just the pilot flying the aircraft. But if you want really in-depth details on everything he's pushing, check out the other video. Because he pushed all the same buttons, it's just they work in this aircraft. So definitely check that out.
It's quite fun, but they all work.
It's amazing, too, for me being just a simulator pilot, when an airplane is updated or something does actually work, the immersion and satisfaction of it working is so exciting. You know,
Absolutely.
or like if I fly the default Baron or something, I see all the buttons on my checklist. They're all there, but they don't do anything. Whereas the Payware B1900, they all move. They all mean something. It's just that much more exciting. Now when you flip on a switch, it actually operates. And same thing with this one for you. I can tell when you're up there flipping everything, and it all works now the way it should.
It's it puts a smile on my face. Just cleared us to a fix a little bit further down the road since we're clear of the terrain. And look at that, came above 10,000.
Well, the radar's working.
The terrain actually.
Terrain, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
The terrain.
It accelerated automatically. Let's bring us up to 200. Let's see, we said we were going to go to 25. There's no ATC to tell us what to do today, so we're just on our own. We're going direct to the fixed no end, and then after that we've got JOH and YAK, and then we're going to start the approach after that.
Awesome.
So we like to, I kind of fly around in the prog key up. It tells us, you know, what we should be landing with about 8,000 pounds of fuel, which is really comfortable. All right.
Is that the flight attendant making their announcements?
I think so.
So I wonder what's triggering that, because you didn't push anything down.
No. I'm gonna say we can climb a little faster.
So then I guess if then the next level of this would be to do that boarding sounds and the kids screaming and all that stuff while you're setting all this up, and then
Yeah.
the next level, I guess, which is all in here. We just didn't do any of that.
Speed our cruise up. It's got us going cruising kind of slow. It's all about the cost index, and that's
Sure,
what it
yep.
figures those speeds on. But
Yeah. And if the weather changes stuff, you'd update that, because that would make
Exactly.
a difference. Like, oh
Yeah.
gosh, now we have this crazy headwind we didn't have before.
exactly. Just gonna kind of get us set up for our approach here already as we go, and then curious to see what this guy looks like from the outside.
Oh, they're playing. Yeah, we can start that now while you're.
Sweet. Yeah.
We'll look at that.
Pretty.
Take some screenshots. So it's going to climb, then come down. I guess the haze is still there from when we tried real weather, but
Yeah, it looks pretty realistic.
get the sun in there.
It's gorgeous. There's some big terrain up in Alaska. There's
Yeah, there is.
I have flown into Anchorage.
Okay.
It's a great overnight in the summertime. Salmon fishing.
Oh, I bet.
Right, literally a walk from downtown. You can go watch the people catching salmon.
Wow. And then,
There we are.
If we do this one, the flyby, that's so fun.
Awesome.
You get an idea for the speed. Well, that's a cool shot.
Awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Love it. So look at that. We're doing
Oh.
320 knots
Sorry.
indicated, and we're climbing at 1,800 feet a minute.
Nice. Then get our wing views. Look at that.
Beautiful. Oops, I'm gonna try to bring this down to the middle.
Yeah.
There we go.
And passengers in the back.
Look at that. It's a light load today. Everyone's got to row it themselves.
Passengers from the front. That'd be very expensive with such few
Uh-huh.
passengers. That guy in the middle's hanging on for dear life.
He looks a little scared.
That's really funny.
He knows we're up front. Got a standard here. Let's see, this one should. Look at that. It works on this one.
Nice.
Everything works. Alright, inbound course is 071 into Juneau.
Like the joke. What's the capital of Alaska? I don't know. Juneau?
That's a good one.
When I was studying my state capitals in like 4th or 5th grade, that was the only one my dad knew because of the stupid dad joke that went along with it. I don't even think he knew our home state's capital, to be honest. That was the first generation of my family to be educated above like 10th grade.
I'm gonna click the yoke off for a minute there.
So what is that?
This is the minimum selector.
Okay.
I think
And you're getting the minimums from the charts on your tablet
yes,
over here. Okay.
correct. There we go. Not radio. I want baro. There we go. barrel 1000 is our minimum. At my airline, we always set something in the barrel thing as just kind of an extra alert, even if we're doing a visual approach. I had hoped we could do the RMP, but since it's not in there, the LDA will be just as scenic.
So what's interesting about this, and since you've flown, all different categories of airplanes, it almost seems like this is easier than a GA flight in some ways.
In a lot of respects, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like computer. Yeah.
Yeah, the computer is. What's it doing here? This is strange. It should be proceeding direct to no end. It's like it just kind of decided to recalibrate itself.
Yeah.
I wonder if there was a change in winds or.
Because now it's going back to where it just was.
Yeah, it started like a left turn and then a right turn.
And that. Is that top of descent? No, what's that? Is that
Top of climb.
Top of climb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
I couldn't see that far away.
So I should be going to JOH, which is Jonah Island or something like that. Johnstown Point, way out. Yeah, that's kind of bizarre that it's kind of hunting like that. It definitely doesn't do that in the real plane.
So, are there any flights in this plane that you would do where you don't use the FMS?
No, it would have to be deferred, and then we probably wouldn't go.
Then you wouldn't go, yeah.
I mean, we can go to VOR mode like that and do some kind of raw data navigation, but it's very. And the FMC is tied into all these displays so heavily that I think they would just send somebody else. Can we get the overhead view of the lower panel? Yeah, sweet.
Because I wonder about that, because one day I was trying to fly it was an older version of X-Plane. I was trying to fly a 737 slant alpha to Chicago, and I just couldn't figure out how to do it. I mean, I kind of found where the VOR radio things were, but I'm like, maybe you just wouldn't do that unless, well, I mean, you still have to know how to do that. Like,
yeah,
you still have to know how to do NDB and VOR and all that stuff.
Like, there is, in our airplane, no NDB receivers at all.
Right.
We obviously have VORs, but most everything is overlaid.
Right.
Where we're just using GPS data to mimic as if we were flying to that.
Right. Like, I've noticed that too when the one time I did an FMS, like, you were going airways VOR to VOR, but it didn't matter if you called them VORs, because then they were waypoint, treated as waypoints, and then to the next waypoint.
Yeah, so it becomes kind of the VORs are there for backup, really.
Mm-hmm. What fascinates me about navigation in an airplane is you could be completely fogged in, and something like this, I could do Category 3 in Autoland. You pretty much don't even need to see out the window when you land on the runway. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
We take it for granted in our generation, but, even in the 60s with the 727, they used radio stuff, but they made mistakes. And before that, it was all fly by the seat of your pants.
It's pretty crazy.
Well, then the dead reckoning, that's something that doesn't get talked about very much in the sim community at all, because you've got simmers like me that are pretty much GA. Then you have simmers that all they do is fly the 737. Like, there are YouTube channels out there with hundreds of video over speed. Why didn't the auto throttles? I'm saying, why didn't the auto throttles?
Yeah, so this is actually pretty accurate, and there might be some atmospheric disturbance or something in the sim.
Okay.
I've actually never oversped the airplane in real life,
right?
But the auto throttles have a gap,
a
lag, and when you're in VNAV mode right here, and it says VNAV path. They're in a efficiency mode, so they're
Okay.
trying not to move very much.
Right. Sure. Like
So they're
on
not
the car.
opening.
Right.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like cruise control. Barely. If you put your foot on the pedal with cruise control, it barely moves.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why they kind of, your airspeed will slop around.
Okay. Sure.
However, as I'm moving the throttle here,
There it goes.
I feel like the auto throttles are kind of not on. It's gonna squeak at me. Oh, there should be. Interesting. They should snap right up to the commanded rate for cruise, but they're not.
So then, is there any point to is the FMS going to, or FMS going to bring us all the way to the runway, or are you going to have to kind of be on ATC at some point?
So it will bring us right to this fix,
Okay.
which is, I don't know, less than 2.5 miles. 2.5
From
miles
there,
from the
okay.
runway.
So by
And
then it
that's
should be in sight anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the difference with the LDA.
Okay.
We'll have to look and see it and land.
Okay. And then you'd be flying by hand anyway,
Yes.
even in real life, probably.
Yep. Autopilot, auto throttle's off. Yeah.
And two, just in the previous video for everybody watching, we extensively talked about when use autopilot, when not use autopilot, flying by hand, when not to fly by hand, things like that. So instead of having that entire discussion again, go back to the previous video, because all that was talked about in great detail.
All right. Well, I think we're there's not. Well, I can set up the. I'll set up the captain's barrel. I'm over here.
So you do some pretty long flights. Like I think you've flown to Jamaica and stuff a few times.
I have.
So when you do, and you've got 6-hour, 8-hour flight, what do the captains do, or that's something you can't tell us?